What is up? It is the Andy and Jared show, or lack thereof. It's been a couple of weeks since we've gotten
Do we
together.
actually have a name on this thing yet?
No, I think it's the J and A show,
J and
dude.
A and J.
J and J show. But no, we've kind of been had a case of the summers and around the holidays, so we haven't talked for a minute. But as we were talking offline, this might not be as data intelligent type of a podcast, but with the market the way it is, and Andy, you brought up a little bit that some real estate agents are freaking out. You want to touch on that a little bit? We can kind of talk about what still needs to be done to keep these guys on path to continue to get listings.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have talked about this before as well, and it's not necessarily just real estate agents. It's also throughout lenders. We're seeing this. Insurance brokers are doing the same thing. But it's like the unofficial start of summer, right? Memorial Day. And I always say this inside of my coaching program, the unofficial start of summer, so as soon as Memorial Day hits, it's like, hey, it's vacation mode.
Right.
That long weekend hits, and then you get the first clump of agents and or professionals, people who run their own business, tend to take more vacations. Yeah. Then the end of school hits, then family vacations start. And then all of a sudden it's like, as they're going towards Labor Day, people don't typically come back, honestly, until like after the new year.
Right.
No, people are freaking out.
That in. Yeah, tie that in with some inflation and some high interest
That's rates. Exactly where I was going to go with next.
Yeah. Sorry, I jumped the gun.
No, man, you're good. So with today, I mean, we're recording this on the 13th, right? So like CPI inflation numbers come out today, and 9.1%, and mortgage applications are down 55% year over year. Like, all of these doom and gloom numbers, and the term recession is being thrown around. And granted, like we're there, but recession in economy and inflation, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's no opportunity for agents. And that's the point to be looking at, is the folks that are looking at, the stagnant and really stuck mindset of, or scarcity mindset of, there's not enough out there for me. The market's going down, inventory is going up. People don't want to buy. People don't want to sell. It's the people that are looking for more opportunities are the ones going to really thrive through this market change. And you're right. We're not having a data-based conversation at this point in time. And yet this is, I think, the conversation that most people need to hear.
Right. It's a motivation, I think, conversation. It's a mindset reset, but like the cream always rises to the top. And when the going get tough, the tough get going. I mean, I say this term to my kids and they want to like punch me in the throat, but if you're going to run with the big dogs, you got to pee on the big trees.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like, the agents I see that struggle are the only ones that were thriving in, the 6, 9, 12 months ago world, where it was just, you get a listing and the house is sold, and everyone's, just, it's flying off the shelves, right? But now you have a little adversity. The interest rates go up, but there's still positives behind it. There's still people that are getting older. There's still people that have distressed situations, or have life events that cause them to sell their house, or there's people that have to buy with job relocation. So there's always going to be need for real estate. And I think Dave Ramsey said it a couple of weeks ago that no matter what, the interest rate is, you'll always have an opportunity to refinance. It's not the term of the loan per se, but the value of that property is as low as it's ever going to be right now. And so there's got to be some half empty versus half full mentality and approach. And when we talked about this offline, I think the success in with what we do as, and I'll say this again, you'll tell me you hear it all the time, but the treasure map to the gold, through my data or our data or your coaching and your motivation and your calling, it still has to happen, and it's still going to create opportunity, but you also have to put a little bit more work in, and manage the numbers. And that's why it's even more important to have a game plan, right? To have a process in place for marketing or for follow-up or for communication, because it is going to be more challenging, in your career right now, but the resources are still there. The potential sellers or buyers are also there as well. So,
yeah, I think it's also where I will take it to the data side. Because I think it's important to you that the agents, lenders, insurance brokers, whoever is honestly watching this thing, they need to be speaking with more motivated people And you
Sure.
hit the nail on the head, man. Whether it's divorce, probate, distressed properties, financial distressed properties,
Yep.
things like that, like people that actually have a need to move, the whimsical one of saying, hey, I want this amount for my home, that whole financial based decision in order to move
Right.
isn't there anymore.
Right.
So to talk with you guys, honestly, I think if people are looking to talk with more motivated people, I think that's the conversation they need to have with you, to be
Yeah.
like, hey, what does this list look like, and how can we get it as, I hate to say it, man, but as niche specific as possible for the market areas that I serve. And candidly, you're right, man. The push that I will make for agents, insurance brokers, lenders is quite simply, this is not the time to go small.
Right.
This is the time to start to cast the net out wide,
Yeah.
meaning
Double
like
down
an
on
area
yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then start to bring it down. So if you're going to sit there and not for nothing, but if people are going to be sitting there trying to pull 3,500 records, 5,000 records, and hoping for the best, I do think it's time to go a little bit bigger, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
and start to expand the menu a little bit.
No, totally. And like you said it too, like niching, really niching down is a lot of the conversations we're having with larger brokerages and bigger real estate teams or lenders, is really digging into the data and customizing it on your area, not necessarily what the nightly news says at 7, but what your neighborhood's saying or what the market is, or how long are houses really staying on as a listing, and they're still going faster than ever too in some markets too. So it's a perception, but it's also an action that needs to be done too. And it's easy to say it, but it's I always say, actions are louder than words. You and I can sit here and talk about it until we're eating our fifth meal of the day, but we also know that as business owners and providers, that we have to continue to go out there and grind and build relationships and conversations with people that are willing to do the same, and like-minded people. So
yeah, this is the time to put the nose to the grindstone, man. This is not the time to be sitting here thinking, well, it's summertime, I'm going to take vacations. This is the time to be thinking winter's only 4 months away.
Totally. And people are feeling sorry for themselves, and and so now is the time, like you said, to kind of pick it up and put your big boy pants on and come ready to rumble. And I think as we transition into our next topic, which is more exciting than this dog days of summer and inflation recession conversation, but using data in a different way will be a good kind of a cliffhanger, I guess, for future conversation.
Good little precursor, little segue there,
Yeah,
little teaser for what's to come. I am honestly, man, I am excited for that, and some of the results that we're seeing with what we're doing is pretty substantial. So
awesome.
I'm excited to be talking about that a little bit more as we move forward.
So yeah, in the next couple of weeks or a week or so, we can jump back on that and definitely share some successes and different ways to use the data outside of the traditional marketing. So
Heck yeah, man.